People often ask me a question: does any plant can be a bonsai? And my answer is yes, but of course there is one exception. Making bonsai is a game of patience, because a plant can take time to become a bonsai, and that time goes up to years or some time. So you can't make bonsai from a seasonal plant. I mean, what is the point of sowing a tomato seed to start a bonsai after completing its life cycle in 6 months? If that plant is going to die. So always start from a forever tree. Seasonal plants can't be bonsai. If you are planning to start a bonsai, my first advice to you is to just start it now, instead of wasting your time studying its methods, because gardening can be different from area to area. Every terrain has its own unique environment. Your soil, weather, water quality, habitable plants, and many other factors contribute to agriculture. So when should you prune or repot your tree? That question could be better answered by your local nursery guy instead of Google. Because as far as gardening concerns, experiments work better than Googling it. Just go to a nursery and purchase a small, good-looking tree. Or instead of purchasing one, you can start it from a seed or cutting. But propagating a cutting or a seed is the game of knowledge and luck, because successfully sowing a seed needed to be done by the time and environment. And for cutting, the same rule applies. But you also need to know what type of plant can be grown using cutting, because not all trees grow from a cutting. There is another method, and it's free of charge. You have to find a place where seeds are naturally grown. You can pick that seedling, but make sure no one objects to your actions. And in that case, you need to know how and when to do it. Otherwise, that plant can die. Hey, remember that process is free, so nothing to lose. Accept your efforts, but that's a chance for practice. And practice makes a man perfect. Now you got a small tree or a seedling. What's next? Just let that tree stand for the change of environment. Because sometimes even changing a plant's place to place can affect its growth. So don't rush to prune or repot. To be on the safe side, place the tree in a semi-shaded area and keep watering it. But don't overwater. It can kill your tree. Best way to avoid overwatering any plant in a pot is to don't water the plant until its soil looks dry. Watering should be done twice a day or just once a week, depending on your weather conditions. So keep watching the soil. Never try to fertilize a new tree. Safe watering is the key to survival for a new tree.
Always start your journey of bonsai with species of a tree that successfully thrives in your native region. But it's a common observation that succulents and tropical trees like jade and ficuses can easily handle newbie mistakes, but nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody has to start someday. Remember what I said earlier? Practice makes a man perfect. So now what I want to start styling my tree. But wait for the right time. It is best to ask your local gardener and farmers when is the best time to prune the trees. But in my observation, summer rains are globally the best time to make big cuts and repot your tree. Because most of the time warm and humid days are the growth time for a tree. So trees can handle a lot of stress at that time.
So in the beginning, start with 1/3 of foliage pruning. Don't rush to make perfect bonsai at your first try. And the same rule applies for the root pruning. Before root pruning, make sure there are enough roots left after cutting 1/3 part of the roots. To evaluate the root condition, take out the plant from the pot. And if you don't find a dense network of fibrous roots, put it back and wait until next year. Some that wait could be extended to years, so never rush. In the beginning, never try to remove all the old soil. It could disturb the root structure to the extent that the plant could die. It's an experience thing to judge what species can handle full soil removal. And now for the soil. There is no fixed rule to determine good or bad soil type. There is just one rule of soil that all bonsai communities agree on, and that rule is that the soil should be good for water drainage. Because over time the root gets denser, year by year, and that standing water can rot the roots. I personally use equal mixed perlite, humus, and decomposed cow dung. But this formula works best for my weather conditions, and you need to find what works best for you. That's it for the video. I made clear almost all the points a beginner should know to start. Bonsai is a hobby without much plant casualties, but by chance any plant died. Nothing to be disappointed, even masters make mistakes. If you want more tutorial videos, please comment below.